Hello, welcome to Wide Left Sports. Today I am joined by University of Montana Western football player Tristan Blomquist. Tristan, how are you doing today, man?
Doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, really good. It's sunny and about 55 here in Billings, so it's beautiful.
Oh yeah, I'm on my way back home right now. So,
Awesome. So tell me a little bit, what made you fall in love with football?
um, I guess I've always kind of played it. Growing up, going to Montana State games with my dad. Think just kind of falling in love with it, playing recess football. I just kind of, finding the little things to love about it too, as well as I got older and got into high school and college. So,
That's awesome. So I know you from high school, your high school days and playing at
yeah,
West High. What did it mean to play for West High and get to put on that black and gold every Friday night?
yeah, it was a long time coming, especially back then. I mean, I only played varsity my senior year. Up until then, I'd been going to like little football camps that they held for us as little kids. Um, my parents are teachers and coaches at West High, so I've always kind of grown up in the West High program, always been around it. So just being a part of it was, special, and it was a kind of a dream come true from a little kid standpoint.
Oh, that's awesome. So being kind of a late bloomer and only playing varsity your senior year, what was your recruitment process like?
There wasn't much of it. I think I had two offers coming out of high school from Rocky and then a Black Hills State, which I ended up going to Black Hills State on a preferred walk on. But I was just lucky enough to, have something like that, come my way. I know there's plenty of others that would die to be in my position. So that's kind of what keeps me going.
Oh, that's awesome. So then two things with that. What was the walk on, you know, life like at Black Hills State? And then what ultimately made you decide to go there going into your freshman year?
Yeah, I went to their little uh, individual camp that they had that summer, and I won DV MVP there, and that was pretty cool. And I kind of like the scenery there. That was a big thing going into college. Being from Montana, I'm just looking out the window right now. I'm seeing the mountains. I'm appreciating it a lot more. But yeah, just having that. I really liked, their coaches. They were super nice to me. I think the culture was going in the right direction, and you know, and it was only my one offer, and I picked that one. So.
Oh, that's awesome. So then what was that year like where you were a walk on? Obviously, didn't get to really see the field. What was that like for you as a competitor and, playing in high school and then going to college where you didn't really play that first year?
Yeah, it was hard, but if anybody knows how to grind, I knew how to do it. If nothing was gonna come my way, and like I kind of knew how to deal with all the adversities that come your way as a redshirt and not seeing the field, not dressing. Is I've I was lucky enough to have that through high school. I feel like high school built me to do that. So, and it was I won't I'm not gonna shadow it. It was hard to not play. Finally you get a taste of it and it gets taken away from you for a year. That's hard.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So then you made the decision after last year to transfer to U of M Western. And so what was that transition like? And really, I kind of want to know from a player standpoint, what was the transfer portal like?
Yeah. So entering the portal, you're betting on yourself. You may never play football again. I mean, I think there's a huge percentage of guys that enter the portal that never find a home, and I knew that going into it. And I was lucky enough to have Montana Western give me a call because I don't 6 months ago, right now, I really don't know if I was ever going to play football again. That was kind of tough. But, you know, it's one of those things that I didn't go into college wanting to transfer, but just circumstances came up and, I had to do what I had to do.
For sure. So then let's talk about Western's year this year. I know you guys came up close or came up short on the playoffs, going 7-3, which still just amazes me that 7-3 you're missing the playoffs. But
Mm.
what was it like to still record wise have a good year, even though you didn't make the playoffs.
Um, yeah, it's it's one of those things that you feel like you're doing really well, and there's some games in there where we came up short, and you know against three top 15 teams, that's hard. But um, yeah, missing the playoffs that sucked a lot, especially for these seniors with Michael Plandry and Jace Fitzgerald and Keegan Mufich, John Kirkley. Those guys, having to see them not ever, they're never going to put on a jersey again, except for, I think Michael Plandry's going to try to use that one extra year. But yeah, that was kind of hard to see them because I know what it's like to be a senior. And, you know, when it's over, it's over.
For sure. And then the cool thing about the Frontier is it's deeply rooted in Montana. There's a lot of Montana teams. So how cool is that for you to get to play in Billings, your hometown, and then get to play in other towns across Montana? So it's really like you're going home,
hmm
even if you're not in Dillon.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great aspect. I mean, there's not very many places in the country where you don't have to travel across the country to go play a conference game. Last year at Black Hill State, there was times where we had to go drive down to New Mexico, and it was like, holy cow. Or going down to Colorado. Here, it's just like, oh, we're going up to Helena, or we're going over to Billings, and that's a cool aspect. And the travel's always hard, but when you don't have to do as much, that's always makes everything easier.
That's awesome. So what has it been like for you, being a kid from the eastern part of the state, now going to obviously Dillon, which is on the western part of the state? What has it been like for you to just live in that part of Montana and kind of embrace what they do there?
Yeah, I mean, with Billings, you can see the mountains. You're just not very close. And that's kind of always one thing. You're just like, okay, well, that's nice. That's a nice feature, but I kind of wish they were closer. And especially when you get into the Gallatin Valley here, and then you kind of head west, you're just in it, and the weather's changed, and I mean, it's almost I guess I take advantage of these opportunities to be around here because if you're in the flatlands, it's kind of hard to, or the plains, it's a hard way to live, and when you have these sceneries like this, you appreciate it a whole lot more.
For sure, for sure. So for someone that's never been to the University of Montana Western campus like myself, what is like your favorite thing to do on campus? And what is like the highlight of going to a football game there at Western?
Favorite thing to do on campus right now, we started up a Bible study this year. I got here and it was something we did at Black Hill State, and I was like, man, we should get something going, and we did, and it's been great. I mean, we've had great numbers turn out. I think one time we had 32 people show up, and that was amazing. But
Wow.
it's something that's helping change the culture a little bit. Just embrace one another, and it's I think it's impacted our team for the better, and we're gonna be way better with it. Um, Game day aspects, man, Dylan comes to show up. I mean, it's loud in there. I mean, I would have never noticed it we're playing in Dillon, Montana, and then I'm out on the field. I think it was against Carroll, and it's a third down, and I'm like, holy cow, it's loud in here. And there's not you know 10, 20,000 people. There's 4,000, 3,000, 4,000, and you kind of just embrace it, and they make it loud in there. So it's a great atmosphere, especially with tailgating. It sounds like my parents had told me. So
Oh, that's so awesome. So, talk to me too with the support, obviously on Saturdays. What is the support like for you guys in the town of Dillon when you're not playing football? Whether it's the off season or Monday through Friday, just day to day there in Dillon. What is the support for you guys as a football player like?
yeah, I would say the town rallies around us pretty well. I mean, there's times where Engine 18, they're a little station in Dillon, but they will have sometimes they'll give us meat and we can go pick up and stuff like that, and that helps us out, especially as broke college kids. Getting anything helps us. Yeah, I would say this town, leans on us a little bit. Small towns, don't have much of like options to do stuff. So, but when the Saturdays come around, they're there.
That's so awesome. So part of this podcast is to really help give, I guess, suggestions or advice to the next generation. So, what is your advice to that next generation of kids, whether it be from Billings or wherever, that want to go play collegiately in the frontier or just collegiately in general?
Yeah, I mean, speaking from experience, I was not the best athlete in high school, and I'm, still not gifted in many ways, but it comes down to how bad you want it, and Friday Night Lights there's nothing like it. I mean, even playing in college, I mean, it's probably some of the best memories you'll ever have, and just trying to, dedicate yourself for a short amount of time of your life to do that is going to get you a long ways, and it's going to set you up. Um, Always for me, it was just, you know, if I can do this, maybe this will open up some more options, and it did, and it got me over to Black Hill State and now Western, and I mean, I couldn't imagine being on any other path.
Oh, that's so awesome. So give us a little bit of a snippet into like what a week is like for you, especially during the season. I know you guys are going a million miles a minute, but like, what does a week look like for you as a college student and a collegiate athlete?
So over here at Western, we have a block schedule. So you take one class for 18 days and you're done. It's like 3 hours a day. And you do that 4 times a semester. So honestly, I like it a lot. You're not having to balance 7 classes,
That
every
is
day.
nice.
And yeah, so I mean, 3 hours sometimes does get long. You're sitting in there and you're like, oh, I wish I could get out or something like that. But, I think it is way better than having all these other classes, and I like it a lot. But yeah, being a college student in Dillon is, with not much to do, you kind of find other stuff to do. I love fly fishing, going around seeing the outdoors. Um, yeah, and then just putting in some extra work with football, and it's just kind of how it is in a small town.
Oh, that's awesome. And then just to wrap this up, tonight there's a pretty big high school football game for
Hmm.
West High facing Glacier. So, what is your score prediction for that game?
Yeah, it's the best weekend of the year here in Montana, but
It really is, isn't it?
yeah, but yeah, I think it's. I mean, West High has a lot of ballers, especially with Elias and Moose, but then also some of those younger guys, Lane Humphrey, Walker Olson. They're gonna bring it, and they have a lot of things to build off of from that first game and use. So I have faith in them to do what they need to do to bring it out. So I'm gonna say West High wins 24-21.
I love it. A good close championship. You can't ask for anything more.
Oh yeah.
And then you mentioned it's a huge weekend, which it is. So I got to ask your Cat Grizz prediction.
Oh yeah. Uh, Growing up in a Bobcat family my whole life, so I'm gonna say Montana State 35, Montana 31.
I love it. I'm a huge Cat fan too. My dad and brother both graduated from MSU, so huge
Yeah.
Cat family in our family as well. And let's hope they pull it out as well. Well,
Yeah.
Tristan, I want to thank you so much for coming on while you're traveling back to Billings, and yeah, just thank you so much for coming on, and wish you the best of luck in the future there at Western. And yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you bringing me on. Thank you.
Of course, have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.